These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26 article, quote, Central Bank Governor, we were keen to facilitate the procedures for opening the first branch of a private bank abroad, unquote. Frank 26 says CBI governor tells the Iraqi citizens about the satellite banks internationally. RV already says looks like the finish line is coming soon. We have Militiaman article, quote, the central bank, our reserves have reached 90 billion and there is no change in exchange rate there's no change in the exchange rate in the 2023 budget, unquote. Militiaman says we can clearly see they have enough reserves to last 22 months. The world average is 11 months per the World Bank. That level of reserves is very good. They will need stability and appear to have that largely covered. They do tell us their money supply, the average value of a note issued, 6 billion of them, is roughly 13,833 per note. Mark Z via PDK question, what are you thinking on timing? Are you still thinking before Thanksgiving? Mark Z says, bankers are still excited and very upbeat. There's a lot of chatter out of Iraq for this week. News out of Iraq, al-Sudani begins the first procedures to activate the Iraqi private sector. Also, economic circles welcome the opening of an Iraqi bank branch in Dubai. They want investment in Iraq and they want to build their economy. To do that, you need an international currency. All right, Pimpy article, quote, according to Saleh, a government advisor, there may be an option to gradually increase the value of the dinar. Any future adjustment of the exchange rate must be gradually implemented over a 1-year period to provide an appropriate climate for price adjustment. I've stated before the best move is to do it in increments, and that's what it sounds like Saleh is saying. I'd rather have 1,000 baby steps to get there than sit here for years and years with no change. Nader from the Mideast says a lot of talk about the budget. They're going to pass it in November/December. They said between the 18th and the 22nd of this month. I think they're going to pass it. They have no choice. Here's the thing. I always expect the worst. Don't think it's going to change the day after the budget comes out. You never know. Even if the exchange rate is in the budget, I think it's not going to be what we think. It's going to graduate, though, from there. Jeff says you're in the middle of a budget period right now, so they can't revalue the currency during the middle of the budget period because budgets are calculated off the value of the currency. If they were to try to change the exchange rate in the middle of a budget, they would have to amend that budget and plug new numbers and values into the budget. That's the only way they could do it. Right now, they don't have any intentions of amending the budget. That's not what their intentions are. All right, Walking Stick via Frank 26, all past budgets of Iraq have had a rate line item to calculate the budget's expenditures. When you see historical 2023 budget, its goals are not a reality with a program rate. That's why the CBI now educates the citizen at a faster, quicker pace about the new exchange rate and about new small category notes to match that new rate. The new rate is coming to a bank near you. Frank 26, Firefly, all these deals with other countries can't stay at a program rate. We feel it. We'll not mess around with any of this 1190 mess, but straight to 1-to-1 and then float from there. Too many deals with too many countries that are taking major investments here. Frank said, there you go. Now you're understanding and you're applying logic to what you are seeing with your own eyes from your leaders. Things are moving at a very fast pace. When you see the international contracts being activated right in front of your eyes before the 23 budget is even open, that tells me your new exchange rate is solid and as strong as titanium. All right, Breitling says 90% of Iraq's economy is based on oil, petroleum products. So that means they have a great and fantastic future. The world is not about to give up its oil. They have a product that's use is important. It's not going to go away. The question is, when do they get in the market? What do they diversify and how do they diversify? It's adding value to their currency, and to do that, they have to pass banking laws. All right, Mark Z via PDK, lots of good chatter, but nothing I would consider solid news tonight. Sources are still upbeat, but nothing is moving. Iraq has told the people that things will happen this month. Budget is supposed to be sent for approval the 15th of this month. I am absolutely hearing the same thing. It's ante-up time. All right, Pimpy says you have the Prime Minister and the central bank saying there's no intentions on changing the rate. It's not going to take long until we find out what's really going on. As soon as the draft budget comes out and we see it, we're going to know if there's a rate change in there, and if there is one, how much. And lastly, Mark Z via PDK, just about every agency out there, the UN, the IMF, and including the CBI, have told us they do not need permission to change the rate. But there are articles coming out from no-name ministers saying they're not going to vote to change the rate yet. While they don't have to vote to change the rate, the CBI is in charge of that now. The GOI did their part, and now it's up to the CBI.